The following video is not made for kids. Viewer discretion is advised. Hello to my subscribers and friends. This is the TFfangeek coming to you with what will hopefully be a quick and successful video. It's just after midnight where I live, so hopefully by the time I upload this, it'll be close to 4 o'clock in the morning. I know there aren't many early risers where most of my subscribers live, which is the other side of the United States on the East Coast. But I just wanted to share with you guys my most recent haul of Transformers action figures, and it's just it's not a big one. It's just 2 Transformers action figures which I was able to find off of Amazon recently, and they're 2 older released Transformers action figures, so it's not the Age of the Primes aerial bots or anything recent such as the Studio Series for 2025, but there are 2 Transformers action figures I was surprised to see on Amazon, and they're a welcome addition to my Transformers collection. And just like some of the other figures I showed in my another recent haul, thanks to Amazon.com, I was able to add 2 Transformers action figures that I technically did see in the store when they were released east back in the good old days when they first came out, and I never thought I'd get the chance to have these guys in my collection. And the reason I passed on them originally was because at the time I didn't have the money, and if I did have the money, I didn't have the interest in buying them at the time. But without further delay, everyone, here are my 2 most recent Transformers action figures from Amazon.com. They're both deluxe class figures that were released in the first live-action Transformers movie line back in 2008. So we have the Walmart exclusive deluxe class action figure, and yeah, that really is his name, Big Daddy. So yeah, he's based off one of the G1 Micromasters, and he did have the same name. He did get a proper Micromaster sized updated action figure in the Transformers Earthrise line in 2020, but Hasbro lost the registered trademark to his original Generation 1 name, and so the Earthrise Micromaster figure was given the name Daddy-O. Both those names are ones that have raised eyebrows and made Transformers fans chuckle due to the cultural significance that those names have here. But yeah, this is even though it's a deluxe class figure, and like the other vintage 2007 movie 1 action figures I've added to my Transformers collection recently, such as up here was Grindcore, and just barely visible behind him over here is another Walmart exclusive deluxe class figure from the first movie line, which is a deluxe class Decepticon Jolt. Big Daddy is a repaint of Cybertron on Downshift. I do have that figure, just like the other movie 1 figures I've gotten recently, which are repaints of the Cybertron figures. I have the original Cybertron figures, so to have the Movieverse repaints of my Transformers collection finally it's a really amazing thrill. So yeah, for those of you who ever wondered what the Micromaster Big Daddy would be like if he were a deluxe class sized quote-unquote normal-sized Autobot instead of a Micromaster, then the 2007 Walmart exclusive Movie 1 Deluxe Class Cybertron repaint of Cybertron Downshift gives you an opportunity to do that. There's the other deluxe figures in the 2007 Movie 1 line that were available at the time in 2008. Grindcore and Jolt are 2 of the other figures I got from Amazon a couple of weeks ago. Another one here, Dive Bomb, who's a repaint of Cybertron Thundercracker. I wasn't able to get him off of Amazon, unfortunately. And then I used to have the other 2 figures there, which were mass retail figures of Overcast and Jungle Bone Crusher, but I've gotten rid of them in more recent years when I've downsized my Transformers collection. I'm still debating if I want to get Dive Bomb someday or not. But yeah, there's Big Daddy. And then the next one, which was released in, I believe, the second wave of the Walmart exclusive 2007 Movie 1 figures, which was technically, I believe it was the last wave of deluxe class Transformers for the first live action film. And just like Jolt was a character from the first 2007 movie line whose name was later recycled into a Transformers character used in a later Transformers film. This next one, it had the same case as well, where the name aim was used on a completely different character in a later live-action Transformers film. But here is the Transformers 2007 Movie 1 Walmart exclusive deluxe class Decepticon crankcase. So yeah, this guy is a repaint of the Transformers Cybertron Deluxe Class Red Alert, and when it comes to the original Cybertron action figures, I just said that I have the original Cybertron Downshift, and for up there for Grindcore, up there in the top left corner of the screen, right up there, Grindcore, I have the figure the Cybertron figure he's repainted from, which is Cybertron Landmine. For Crankcase here, he is a repaint of the Transformers Cybertron Deluxe Class Red Alert figure. That figure, before it was repainted into Crankcase in 2008, after it was originally used for Deluxe Class Red Alert in the Cybertron Online in 2005, the following year in 2006, during one of the last waves of Cybertron Red Alert was repainted into Decepticon Cannonball, who in more recent years was fleshed out as a Transformers character who, along with Thundertron, was one of the Starseeker/Star Raider Decepticon pirates. Cannonball got a figure recently in the Transformers Legacy United line last year in 2024 as a Walmart exclusive, just like this crankcase action figure. Legacy United Cannonball. The Legacy United version of Cannonball was a retool of the Legacy Year 1 Autobot Skids mold, but traditionally, historically, because Cannonball, his original Cybertron figure, was a repaint of Cybertron Red Alert, technically if Hasbro and Takara Tomy wanted to, they could take Legacy United Cannonball and just straight up repaint him into a proper deluxe class action figure of Cybertron Red Alert, and Crankcase if they wanted to do it as well. The original deluxe class Cybertron Red Alert mold, I believe, counting exclusives that were just exclusive to Walmart, but were also BotCon and collection exclusive, convention exclusives was the term I was trying to use. I think the mold was used at least 4 times, since it was used for the original BotCon Shattered Glass Red Alert figure, which I believe came out in 2009, the year after Crankcase was released. And I can't remember if it was used on any other versions, apart from the Takara Tomy release of Cybertron Red Alert, which had a slightly altered paint job from the Hasbro version of the figure. But the point I'm trying to make is that the only other version of this mold that I have in my Transformers collection, which until I got Crankcase here was the only version, was I did have technically the original Transformers Cybertron Cannonball figure. However, back in the day, I decided to custom paint that figure into a deluxe class figure of Trailbreaker, since at the time when I found that figure at a used thrift store or in a bag with some other Transformers action figures. I was into collecting Chug-style Transformers action figures, which, as you can see by the wall behind me, I'm still doing to this day. And in the back of my mind at the time, I figured Cybertron Cannonball I'd enjoy it better if I custom painted him into a deluxe class action figure of Generation 1 Autobot Trailbreaker. I don't regret doing that to this day, but it does mean that there is one less copy in the world out there of Cybertron Cannonball that doesn't have his the same paint job he originally was given by Hasbro. But the point I'm trying to make also is that custom Trailbreaker figure I made from the original Cybertron Cannonball figure, it didn't have any of the accessory pieces that the figure comes with, which there's 3 in total. You get the 2 hand attachments for the left side arm in place of an actual hand, and of course the cyber key. So Crankcase here is a special figure for me. The reason I decided to get him and when I got Big Daddy also was because since I missed out on the original Cybertron Red Alert and I found my Cannonball turned Trailbreaker version of this mold at a thrift store with the accessory pieces missing, Crankcase has become technically the first and only version of the deluxe class Cybertron Red Alert mold I have that is fully complete, even with all of his accessory pieces inside the box. So that's really nice to see. nice to finally have a version of this mold that has the two hand tools, since both versions of the mold I had were missing those. Or the only version of the mold I had was missing that. I've tried to look and see if Cybertron Red Alert was available on Amazon. He is sold out right now. And for those of you who haven't been paying to my channel recently, last year I got into a bit of a snafu with eBay, so I don't buy Transformers action figures off of eBay anymore, so shopping on eBay for vintage Transformers like these is no longer an option for me. But thankfully Amazon had these two figures on sale, so just like Grindcore, Jolt, and also Voyager class, Mudflap, who was a repaint of Cybertron Mudflap, which was released at Toys R Us back in 2008. Those are 5 Transformers figures from the 2007 movie 1 line that I did see them back in 2008 when they were first released, but the mentality I had at the time in 2008 is that since I had the original Cybertron versions of these molds, which most of them appeared in the Cybertron cartoon, the mentality I had at the time was, why buy repaints when I have the original versions? And compared to looking at the money I spent getting these figures off Amazon right now, I do have to facepalm myself for thinking that way back in 2008 of passing up on the Cybertron repaints released in the first live-action movie line. And because they're all pretty fantastic Transformers action figures when you take the time to look at them. And unfortunately, since I was lacking in Generation 1 knowledge at the time, in 2008, I had just started watching the Transformers Generation 1 cartoon, and I was getting familiarized with the characters, so that's my mistake at the time, was not realizing how fantastic these Transformers action figures actually are. But yeah, one more time, here they are, my latest Transformers action figures from the 2007 movie 1 line. These were from the Walmart exclusive subline of we've got Deluxe Class Autobot Big Daddy, based on the Micromaster, and we've got 2007 movie 1 Decepticon Crankcase. And yeah, he's a far cry from the Dark of the Moon version of Crankcase. Right here on the back of his box, those were the other 2 deluxe figures that were released in the second wave of 2007 movie 1 Walmart exclusives. You got Fracture, based on the GoBots character of Crasher, repaint of Classics Mirage, and you've got Breakaway, based on the Generation 1 Autobot Power Master Getaway, which was a repaint of Cybertron Hotshot. I did want to try and at least find Breakaway, but he is completely sold out on Amazon. I do have one version of the original Cybertron Hotshot mold, but considering the only Chug-style figure of Breakaway/Getaway that we've gotten from Hasbro was the Titans Return figure, which was a straight-up repaint with a different head of Titans Return Chrome Dome. I think Breakaway/Getaway is one of those characters that is in need of a new deluxe class action figure. At least we got it with Crasher and Asher, even though that figure was a repaint of retool of Siege Mirage. But at least she has her original GoBot's name of Crasher instead of the copyright name Hasbro gave her in 2008. But anyways, the video's gone on a lot longer than I wanted it to. I was hoping to try and keep it under 5 minutes, but you know me, those who have been subscribed to my channel for a long time have gotten to know me. You know that when it comes to talking Transformers, I yammer like there's no tomorrow. But thank you guys all so much, and the reason why I didn't record any video overviews this past week is because my family and I had a huge yard sale yesterday on Saturday, May 10th, and then it lasted all day long, and so my family and I were exhausted. I tried to record my next review today, but coincidentally we're also experiencing our first heat wave of the year 2025 here in Southern California. It's the temperature outside right now, according to the thermometer, is close to 65 degrees. Depending on where you live, that might sound extremely hot, and where you live, it might sound cold. The average temperature here in Southern California during May, the month of May, around this time of the year, is 65 degrees during the middle of the day when it's at its hottest, and it drops down to about 55 degrees at nighttime. So yeah, this is definitely a heat wave temperature for Southern California. During the day, it's expected to be 80 degrees. ease, and the average temperature here on a lukewarm day in Southern California is about 70 degrees Fahrenheit. Alright, so those of you who living outside the United States who use the metric system, I'll let you do the calculations for that temperature, or if you want. So thank you guys all so much, and until next time, you guys, this is the TFfangeek. Please remember to stay safe, stay healthy, and until next time, you guys, transform and roll out. Goodbye, everyone.